Crypto News, everyone. Hi, I'm Sarah, and we are back with another one-on-one session with OKX. I have a special guest here, Jason Lau, Chief Innovation Officer at OKX. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
All right. Today, we're going to have a quick but snappy one-on-one session for OKX. And if we are doing good, then we're going to have another series of OKX stuff. I have been actually using OKX not so long time ago. Actually, recently I started using it and it was actually pretty good. I don't know why I didn't get to use it. Maybe we can also talk about it a little bit on PR and marketing that OKX has been doing. But without further ado, would you mind sharing just a brief introduction about what OKX even is?
Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for being a user of ours, Sarah. We'll work hard to make sure we earn your earn more of your trust and usage. But for us at OKX, our mission is pretty simple, right? Our goal is to make Web3 and crypto more accessible. And so when we build products like a crypto exchange, a Web3 wallet, and a whole suite of services and offerings around that. And we're a global platform. So depending on where our users sit, you will see different services that we can offer locally. But yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would know OKX as exchange, but I myself have seen a lot of different news and articles coming out actually dealing a lot about Web3 part of OKX, which is very interesting. But I would like to still ask you, why do we need another exchange or another Web3 wallet with OKX?
That's a great question. I think in this space, the more competitors, the more choice for users, obviously the better. And we welcome more choice and people building great products for users. So for us, we always boil back down to our core mission, right, which is making crypto accessible. We've been doing this for quite some time now as a organization, as a group. This is our 11th year now. Wow. I think that's one thing is our track record, our longevity, the reputation that we've built, I think is a core part of what we do. And we work really hard with our stakeholders across the ecosystem to make sure we build that trust and reputation over time. So, for example, we're working globally to get licensed in many jurisdictions. We just announced earlier this year our approval from the Singapore MAS, the regulator there, as well as in Dubai, in the UAE, are licensed there by the regulator there. And we're also working closely with brand partners globally, partners like McLaren, Manchester City, Tribeca Film Festival. We're working globally, again, to see how we can bring Web3 crypto closer to our users around the world. So that's one. And then when you boil down to what does that actually mean in terms of products, you mentioned the Web3 wallet, which I think is a unique part of our strategy. Is a lot of people do know us as a centralized crypto exchange. Very simple, right? We offer trading products for users around the world, whether that's simple products from spot trading to social copy trading products for users to participate with their communities, or a little bit more advanced products like derivatives and options and institutional grade products. But we also have that Web3 wallet that I think we are one of the few platforms where it's built in quite natively into the same app. So you can switch and toggle between your exchange mode and your Web3 wallet mode. The wallet, I personally think, is one of the most powerful out there. We support over 90 different protocols. And like I said, it's very seamlessly integrated, right? You have that same OKX user experience that you're already familiar with. So that's really where we excel. We try to bring all of crypto, all of Web3 into one place for you in a very easy place to access.
Right. I couldn't help but ask and squeeze the information out of you in terms of what kind of really standing out innovation that OKX is making, because even though yes, it is cool to have a Web3 wallet, but I bet there are almost all exchanges, or at least like top 10 exchanges, having Web3 wallet seamlessly implemented in their app, and probably all possible products that you can think of in an exchange or even a crypto application, all top exchanges have it in their app. Very well designed UI wise, UX wise. So what can I really expect from OKX that maybe I didn't see?
Yeah, I think like you said, or like as we discussed, right? The space is competitive, but where we stand out is two things, right? Is that trust that we've built with our stakeholders, and just on the centralized exchange portion, we were one of the first to come out with proof of reserves. Actually, fun fact is back in 2014, we did our proof of reserves back then, 10 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
But the market wasn't quite ready, and no one really seemed to care too much about that. But today, we just released, I think, our 17th consecutive monthly proof of reserves, and our proof of reserves allows users to verify independently that the exchange has not done or used their crypto assets in a way that they did not expect. So they can check that their assets are backed one-to-one on the blockchain. It's not been misused.
Okay.
And then on the Web3 side, the team's been working really hard in making sure whenever there's something new happening in the Web3 space, our wallet is going to be supporting that very early. And an example of that would be last year when Bitcoin ordinals came out. I believe we were one of the first wallets to support that natively into our exchange. You can view, swap, and explore that world. And very quickly, we got, for our wallet, the team was very proud that we were up to, I think, something like 80 or 90% of all ordinals trading was happening via the OKX ecosystem. So that's an example, right? And today, you look at collaborations with the Solana ecosystem. You look at this new partnership we just announced last week, actually, with Immutable, really trying to highlight the upcoming wave of Web3 games that are coming and all the in-game assets and all the cool things you can do there. So these are sort of the partnerships and product features that we're focused on to making sure our users can do everything they want in one place.
Okay, then I would like to reverse the question. Is there anything that OKX is struggling with or having a hard time kind of meet the target of whatever in the market?
Yeah, look, our product is not perfect. We gladly take feedback. Myself, I will gladly take feedback from our users. I think one of the things that to use some of the examples I brought up earlier on Bitcoin and Solana, one of the feedback we got actually was because the ecosystems were gaining a lot of traction, there were transactions that were not being processed correctly or were failing, right? And we're seeing this across the ecosystem. It's not just our wallet, but those are challenges for our engineering team to debug right on the cutting edge and try to figure out how we can make sure users aren't frustrated with error messages or situations where they don't understand what is happening. And so being right on that edge of working with the on-chain protocols, but also abstracting away some of that complexity and making sure users understand what they're doing. And then also ultimately solving those errors, right? I think some of our error rates for Bitcoin after we were looking into it came down like 95%. We were able to improve that over time. Those are the areas where it just takes time and it takes a lot of effort on our part. And so that's where we always need to stay on top of things, listen to our users, and continue to improve the product.
Right. Maybe one thing that while I was checking OKX just one more time before your interview was that OKX Chain might not be doing as well as some other catalysts that you guys have been building. The Web3 wallet, NFT marketplace has been doing amazing. Maybe user adoption part of the OKX chain or even the need of it might be something that could be questionable.
Yeah, so in terms of OKX Chain, I think where we are actually focusing our efforts on, and this is something we announced a testnet version of, it's our upcoming layer 2. OKX Chain was, I think you're referring to the original OKX Chain that was released years ago. That was an experimentation for us to see how we could contribute technology-wise and also code-wise to sort of this research and development of layer 1s. I think the market, and we might touch into sort of how the market is evolving, especially on ETH with layer 2s. We are going to be focusing a lot on our layer 2 protocol that's coming out later this year in mainnet. So I'm happy to talk more about that too. I think that's an area where we're very excited about. We have over 150 different protocols and applications that are already deploying on testnet. And so we're really excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, actually talking about the Ethereum and especially after this upgrade and potential the approval of the ETH spot ETF, where exactly do you think OKX fall and where do you think you guys can benefit from?
There's a lot happening in the Ethereum ecosystem, and I think a lot of that flies under the radar because Bitcoin's very hot today, and then there's meme coins happening on other chains. But there's a lot happening. You mentioned the upgrade, the Denkun upgrade that allows for more scalable layer twos. Mm-hmm. We're very excited about that. Our layer two is going to be on ETH. It's a ZK EVM that we're working in partnership with Polygon with. And there's also new technologies like account abstraction that is already built into our wallet. But we are further working with the ecosystem to develop and make that even more useful for users. One thing that the team was very proud to have participated and contributed to is a new Ethereum improvement protocol that makes account abstraction more interoperable via modular aspects. Won't get into the technical details, but this is an example of us where we're now really trying to be more contributive and collaborative with the broader ecosystem, contributing code, contributing developer time, and building these tools where the rest of the ecosystem can use. I think all these pieces, along with the existing wallet that I mentioned, connect really deeply with the rest of our OKX ecosystem, with the exchange, with the liquidity, with this upcoming layer 2 that I mentioned. There's just so much happening in ETH world that it's going to be a great 2024.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how that comes out. And I appreciate that you just say that the OKX chain in the past was an experiment. And we have to accept the fact that there can be an experiment. And if it doesn't work out, then yeah, sure, that's fine. And then it will be anyways helpful for the future plans. So that being said, what will be the focus of 2024 plan in OKX?
We're going to continue to experiment and build. I think that's number one. You're right? Our industry is still nascent. Mm-hmm. The landscape broadly is maturing and changing, and we're going to be right there with them, right? I mentioned at a high level a couple things. One is we're always working on improving our transparency, how we operate and how we participate in the ecosystem as a exchange, as a product, but as a community. So things along that front is, I mentioned licenses. Expect to see more of that later this year. We are going to be launching in other markets also. We recently launched in Turkey and Australia and the others I mentioned, but expect to see more of those coming up this year. I think that's going to be exciting for us because we will hopefully make OKX and crypto more accessible via our product suite and our approach. And then secondly, on the product front, I mentioned the layer 2. I think that's going to be a big thing where we've got a lot of partnerships and ecosystem partners that we're working with closely to see how we can bring new experiences and new decentralized applications to OKX users, but also broadly as a whole, hoping to push that boundary of what decentralized apps can do. I think that's something definitely to keep an eye on. And then we've got a few more surprises that I can't quite speak to yet. Some of them will involve our brand partners. I think our brand partners are very keen to see how they can bring Web3 into their fan base also. Last year, we did a experiment with, and again, I'll call it an experiment, but it was an initial campaign with Manchester City when they won the Championship League, Champions League, yes. And we issued a commemorative NFT for their fans. Like very simple, but really opening the doors for their fan base to understand that digital items can have value and can be stored and saved and connect to the real world. So we've got something exciting planned later this year on that front too. So stay tuned.
Nice. Actually, I would like to ask this personal questions too. If we're really deep in crypto, but there was this one article, I think by Arthur Hayes, talked about maybe we should start using more crypto enabled instead of using the term crypto native to be more inclusive and then actually make the crypto accessible, just like you mentioned the OKX value stands. So when you think about, okay, I'm at the farthest spectrum of this crypto journey, instead of part of OKX and like we're the advocate of crypto, what would you see people adopting crypto in their daily life?
I think there's two things, right? One is that real world usage of crypto, NFTs, and anything around this sort of Web3 aspect. There's a lot of experimentation going on. And I think part of that is, I think we need to see what sticks for users. We have been, like I mentioned, with Manchester City, but we've also partnered with others. Tribeca Film Festival, we did a NFT ticket with Robert De Niro. Again, these are commemorative items for users to be able to digitally take with them, even after the event is over. But when you take it one step further, I think there's a tremendous opportunity in gaming, actually, Web3 games or crypto-enabled games or whatever you want to call it, where the gamers themselves are already very digitally familiar.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The concept of owning digital items is not foreign. But to think that digital items can offer more than just a database entry on Blizzard servers or something, that's tied to their account. I think that's interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of really sort of high-level, top-tier games that will come to market this year.
Right.
That will push the boundaries of what people think NFTs are, or let's just call them in-game Web3 assets or something, what they are and what they could do for them. I mentioned our partnership with Immutable. There's they told me that there's something like 250 games that are in development on their platform.
Right.
We're hoping that, our partnership with them can bring some of the OKX NFT marketplace liquidity, some of the access that users have via their wallet to manage and view some of these in-game assets, bring that to a wider audience. I think that's something to definitely keep an eye on. And I'm personally a gamer, so I'm excited to see that.
I think I'm personally not a gamer, and I think gaming is a really hard industry, but let's see how it goes in the 2024. And may the god of crypto bull market stays with us throughout this year and see some like significant growth in the Web3 gaming. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining today at Daily Crypto News. And where do you want us to find OKX? What will be the best place?
Twitter is still the best place. We're just at OKX. If you have personally want to reach me, have any feedback, product feedback or ideas, I'm all ears. I'm at Jason KL. So feel free to reach out.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again. And everybody, happy hodling.